Okay, this is the final briefing, and during the time that Stacy was conducting a little, I don't know if it was seance or whatever.
Calling the corners.
Calling the corners, okay. Anyway, I was sitting over here and I felt something tugging on my arm, and I did a quick EVP and I got a baby whining or talking or something. So, but everybody experienced something. So I'm going to go right down the line. Crystal, did you experience anything?
Yes, I heard. I heard a very class 8, in my opinion, of somebody whispering hello after Paul asked something. You know, Paul asked whoever was there to say hello.
Did you experience anything?
Well, I've got a
cool
picture of a vortex.
That is cool. And that was taken right here, right?
Taken right here as they were in the circle.
Did everybody see that vortex?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't. And as far as I think I have a picture. She got a vortex, and I got a picture of a fuzzy tree.
Yeah, the fuzzy tree. That's right. And when I took a picture of everybody, they were all fuzzy. So, and then Big Al had a huge orb on. John, anything?
I got a lot of orb photos, and when we were in the circle, cold spots, and I felt something touch me and brush by me as it walked past me.
I felt cold spots too. Yeah. Bree, did you experience anything?
Well, lots of like chills and goosebumps.
That's right.
And like staticky feelings.
Okay, like spidery webs
like
and stuff.
Feeling it like spider webs on your hair, on your arms and stuff. Cold spots.
Okay. Cool. Oh, yes.
I was supposed to mention the mere fact of the joke that I made about the Burns family.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what was the story about the Burns?
Stacy, right?
Yes.
Okay, Stacy had said, when you guys get in there, get something hot. Awesome. Let's go. And I said, well, the only way you'll find anything hot is if you find the Burns headstone. Well, we happened to find the Burns headstone.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay. Scott, did you?
I got lots of pictures, like a field of orbs. Just dozens of them.
Wow.
One particular, like 7 or 8 photos where you can watch it move around and come close to you and go away, and super bright. I mean, huge.
Wow. It's crazy. Stacy?
Massive amounts of cold. Just to recap, we found a salt pentagram or pentacle. We don't know which
like
one.
That.
So I decided to use it as a Wiccan circle to call the corners and bring in whatever it is I could bring in. And at that time, that's when everything kind of started getting where it needed to be. The temperature went up so much that I had so much, and this was before the breeze. I had tons of, my hair was standing up on end, and Chantel, she even touched me and I was ice cold. And everybody else was still burning up hot. So that was mine.
Oh, thank you. Chantel?
I felt a few different things here. On arrival, I was following Lisa still, and she took us to, she was drawn to a wooden carved coyote that appeared to be real, or stuck in the fence. But when we were walking back, I felt we walked over, ironically, the grave right next to the Burns couple. And when we were walking, I don't know if Lisa felt it, but I felt like a sinking sensation. And we were basically drawn to that. And then I was looking for some shoes in the car, and when Bree and I were walking, we had that feeling that if someone were pursuing us or following us. And her and I saw the dark shadow kind of dart behind us. We both looked back simultaneously, and there was nothing there. When I went to the circle of salt, I kind of playing around, asking everybody to go to the 4 elements and whistle to call upon spirits. And when we did that, the temperature, Lisa was recorded, it dropped almost 10.
It dropped down from 89, and it went all the way down to a count of 84. It dropped really quick down to about 82, and then shot right back up to 84, 85, and stayed there.
Which was
10 times.
And then we were doing a energy circle. Stacy and I and Bree was in the middle of us. And what was very strange, Stacy's body was extremely cold, and when Bree was touching her hand, and my body temperature rose extremely high.
Yeah,
and
there
Bree
was two different temperatures. Like you left sweat on my hand, and
I
my
was
hand
like
was freezing.
I was like burning.
Yeah.
Which was, and then kind of freaked out because we were calling for it, and then broke our little circle. When I stood up, Stacy was still sitting down. I was like, Stacy, quit grabbing my ankle, and she wasn't grabbing my ankle, she says.
I didn't touch her. I was still calling corners,
and when I
girl.
reached down to brush my Achilles tendon, when I went down to brush it off, it was covered in salt, and I swear I didn't salt my foot. So.
Wow. Well, you were
Oh, and then also, I went outside the circle. So immediately when I went outside the circle, within a minute, I felt like if someone was gripping my hand, my arm. And then when I flipped it over, there was like a red, it was normal, and then it started getting red streaks. Thought maybe it was a bug bite, but then there's nothing.
I got pictures of
I
it.
saw a red streak on her arm.
Yeah, it disappeared when I got back in the circle.
Yeah, the hair on her arm was, she said she felt pressure, and when I was looking at it, I could see just around her wrist, the hair on her arm was raised, but the rest of her arm was not. And then she said it's burning, and I could feel myself having my hand raised above her arm that it was hot. When she showed me the area, we watched it, and it just kept growing these two red lines.
I got pictures of her arm.
Yeah. Oh, good.
When it was red.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But nothing much.
We're going to go to
Would you like the
this
flashlight?
lady here.
Faith.
Okay, Faith. And also, too, when Chantel, when you were talking, when you were talking, when I was looking at my night vision goggles, there was like a little orb that was by Scott, and then it flew off. Yeah.
There was one more thing that experienced it together, but I will let her share. Okay.
Go ahead, Faith.
All right. Well, I did get a lot of pictures of orbs, mainly in the back area at first, and then we were walking back up this way. Came back over here, and they're doing the circle, and I came down and sat here and watched it, and watched her. It was getting colder, 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 and then so they got done with that, and then before we did the other circle, though, right, that's when we experienced that, is that at the same time we both hear this, so we turn around, and it wasn't me, I swear, it wasn't, but you were the only female sitting there, and we're like looking at her like, what did you just say? And she's like looking at us like, what are you think? What are you looking at me for? So we're like, but we both heard it at the same time.
And the interesting thing about it was Paul had captured a similar noise. Actually, he captured the noise on his recorder, and it sounded like a woman or a feminine voice, like a chanting. So that was interesting because he recorded what we heard
before.
Later on.
Later on.
30 minutes after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can clean that up, listen for the north, south, east, and west, earth, air, fire, and water. See if they were mimicking.
Chantel, Stacy, it wasn't residual what we heard and what you guys heard. You don't think it was residual?
No.
Well, I
not at all.
heard her
No.
saying, I heard her calling stuff. It wasn't what.
It was on the opposite side. It was on the out.
It was over there.
Yeah.
It was on the outside.
Well, that's why I was telling him, though, if just see if he can turn that up.
I will.
And hear it. And if it is, then that means that they were mimicking what I was already doing.
When Paul got the EVP, you guys weren't doing the chant.
No.
No.
We were all watching Paul.
Okay.
I'll put it on
so that wouldn't be residual
Facebook
then.
and then YouTube.
Okay, Lisa?
I experienced the same thing Chantal did with the grave, and just really heavy. Both our chests were tight, kind of difficulty breathing. I caught what I think is a really super bright orb behind an old tree trunk over there. There's nothing behind it, and it's just this perfectly round, super bright light. Which
I got one of those too.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
And Lisa, could you tell us why you were drawn to that area when you first came? You were the one that actually was. We followed you. Why were you? Why did you go to the area? Why were you drawn to it?
I I can't explain it. I was just told to go there. The second we pulled up, I walked 2 feet in, instantly looked over that direction and just started walking over there. Then I heard you say to follow me, so
Yeah, that's what I was
not sure why.